Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
Are you in a hurry? I'm Peggy Burton.
Evidently, we're in a hurry.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
It's
That's
good
okay.
to be back.
It's good to be
It's
here.
always good to be back and
here.
alive. You know, I wake up every day thanking God that I'm still here.
That's it. We enjoyed Valentine's Day down at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall with you.
Wasn't that
Sold
a nice
out event.
Sold out event.
Sold
Food was
out.
great. The band was great.
They even sold the tables where the band ate dinner. After we got up, they filled those seats.
Fill those tables up. That's
It
great.
was
That's
beautiful,
great.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a few things going on. Next 7th of March is the Purple Olympics, second annual Purple Olympics for Alzheimer's Tennessee, Tullahoma High School.
And that night, Miss Becky Buller will be on the South Jackson Civic
Becky
Center
Buller
stage.
will be on the stage. She'll be on here in just a minute. And then February the 27th, is it? When this is Cancer Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Troy Durham and his group will be having their concert at South Jackson Civic Center.
Pink is the color
Pink is
of
the
hope.
color of hope.
Which is always a nice
yeah.
event. And this weekend at South Jackson Civic Center in Tullahoma, Tennessee, we have Rex's Exes on our stage.
Rex's Exes.
Rex's Exes.
Did they live in Texas?
Maybe. It's supposed to be hysterical.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
Sounds
so
like it would
they're
be.
telling us we have so much great information for you on today's show. You don't get any more useless drivel today. We'll be back after this commercial break. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm pleased to have joining us on the set now Ellen Anderson, who is here with quilts. And, you know, from time to time, when you're a host of a television show, you get yourself occasionally in a situation where, you know, I don't know a lot about this next upcoming segment. So I have to ask my guest to make sure she carries us through this. And Ellen appears to know what she's doing when it comes to quilting. My grandmother used to quilt years ago, and it seemed like in the living room there was always somehow hung from the ceiling this quilt thing that you used, and you know she would sew it by hand and then roll it up, and you know she'd do quilts and all kinds of stuff that way.
Well, there are still some that do that, but lately, you know, modern days, we have modern sewing machines and long arm quilters, and so it's kind of more technology instituted now, but quilting
I
is,
assume it's a lot quicker to get one done.
oh yes, oh yes. We still have some hand quilters now in our guild. We have a couple, but most of us either quilt on our own sewing machine or send it out to a long arm quilter to be finished.
And what does a long arm quilter look like?
Well, she looks like the rest of us.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
But she has usually it's a she, sometimes it's a he. She has a very long machine, loads the quilt on the machine, and she has a sewing machine that travels over the quilt.
Oh, I see.
So,
I see.
very, very interesting operation.
So what if you're doing a quilt with the long arm quilter you just mentioned? How long would it take you from start to finish to do one? Do you have any idea?
Well, it would take maybe the long arm quilter a few hours to quilt it.
A few hours
to do the quilting. Well, it takes a long time, but I'm not really up on the long arm quilters, but I do have some friends that are. It takes them quite a while to load. That seems to be to load the quilt and the batting and the backing. It's a process,
right.
but
if you did it by hand, in the old-fashioned way,
yes,
it
could take months.
Months, yeah, right.
But
okay.
some of them are fast.
Yeah, right.
Doing the building, I call it building, sewing the top, that we call, that can take, depending on how often you work on it, it can take a day or two, or it can take months, you know.
Right,
but quilting has really become very popular. There for a while, it was just the hand quilters, you know, were like grandmothers. But now young people quilt, and we have guilds now. We get together and socialize and talk about quilting and learn new things, and that's where I'm coming in today.
And I assume you do quilting, because are these some of the works you've done?
I just brought some things just to get people whet their interest.
I see.
We have a quilt show coming up on March 5th, and we would like people to come from the community. And just like any other hobby, you know, we like to share our hobby with other people, and we're just like kids. We like to show it off. Come see.
Right, absolutely.
So anyway,
it's encouraging to me to know that people actually still do this, and there apparently are a lot of folks that still quilt, right?
Oh, it's $1 million business now.
Yeah.
Quilt shops and magazines and TV shows show us how to do special projects, and projects. Speaking of projects, not only quilts, but we do small things too. I just brought a few samplings of some small things that we do: table runners and wall hangings, and so all these things will be on display at our quilt show. So it's not, and some of our ladies even make beautiful handbags. So it's always nice to see that.
So when you start off doing something like this, do you have some inspiration going in? You kind of know what you want that to look like?
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes. Usually you start off with some kind of pattern. You have a pattern in mind. And me, I like to hunt for the perfect fabric, you know, and that takes a while, but it's all in the hunt.
Yeah.
And you want to coordinate things together, and then most people don't like to cut out, but I love to cut out.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot for the Guild. But most of us start out with a plan.
I see.
It's best that way.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about your show before we run out of time. It's coming up when?
It's coming up March 5th, and there's 3 Coffee County guilds, and all 3 of our guilds participate together in this show. We have Girls Night Out, which is an evening guild. We have Heirloom.
You have wine with these meetings?
No,
No,
not usually.
Okay.
No, we have to sew in a straight line.
Oh, okay. I see.
Heirloom Quilter Society and let's see, Manchester Quilting Ladies.
I see.
So welcome. It'll be on March 5th, which is a Thursday, during the day, from 11 to 6 p.m. And of course, we open it up for the lunch crowd who have to work or after work. And it's at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is going out Wilson, like you're going to Lynchburg. You turn on the Old Shelbyville Highway like you're going to go to the airport.
Right.
And as you turn, we're right there on the right.
Right. Right. So, can people purchase things at this event?
No, this is just to show what we've been doing.
Right.
And a lot of us that are in these guilds participate also in the Coffee County Fair. Some of us work the fair in the quilting department. So and this is a little bit different from the fair. They don't have to have made it this year, you know.
Right.
But a gamut from all different kinds of quilts and wall hangings and table toppers. We have been displaying quilts of valor, and we do that. Our guild, our Evelyn Guild, has done that for about 5 years now. And so we'll have some of those on display.
So, do you ever sell any of your work, or do you ever?
No.
Do you keep
I
all
never
this?
have,
Is that correct?
or give it away.
Give it away, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
give it away.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know. They're my babies when you put that much into it.
Absolutely.
Not that I wouldn't sell something, but
it's a great craft, and I know the company. I mean, the community should be very pleased that you guys are displaying that for the public to see.
Yeah, and it's free.
Yeah,
it's free. So a lot of times it's raining, so well, hopefully it won't rain this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're looking forward to doing this for the community and to have people come and see what we do.
All right, again, that's on March
5th.
March 5th from
11 to 6.
11 to 6. So stop by and check them out, folks. And thank you so much for coming by and seeing us today.
Thank you for
having us. Nice to see someone this talented that can do this kind of thing still, really.
Good.
All right, we'll be right back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, with more Living right after this.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate, Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Well, I'm one of the happiest guys in the world because today I have an opportunity to spend not enough time, but a little bit of time with my dear friend, award-winning vocalist, fiddleist, banjo player, guitarist, Miss Becky Buller.
Hey, John.
Hi, Beck.
It's good to be here.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You guys doing okay?
Doing great.
Good.
And
Good.
I want to
Thanks for
see if you have smoke coming off of your shoes because you
Based here
are
in
on the road.
They're a little soggy. It was raining outside today.
You are on the road all over this
It
country.
makes my hair bigger.
Yeah. On the road all over this country.
Yeah.
It amazes me.
And we're going to be in Tullahoma. We're coming home to Tullahoma.
Coming home to Tullahoma
Yeah.
the 7th.
7th of March, 7 p.m., South Jackson Civic Center. Really excited. We're going to be there. It's a hometown show, really, for me and Daniel Harden, our bass player. And, just excited about it.
And Daniel moved in and out. Daniel was there early on, and then Daniel left for a little bit, and I was kind of upset when Daniel left
I know.
because he
We were
is
too.
so visual.
Yes, he's a very dynamic performer. He really gets into it, and he gets into it so much that we call him the Hulk. And I've got a couple pictures to show y'all. So let's, Philip, if we could show him what Daniel normally looks like. Because if I just show him the Hulk picture, his mom is going to kill me. But,
okay. Well, we'll get there in just a minute.
Daniel's a really dynamic performer, great bass player, works at Jack Daniels, and we got a little too busy for him, so then he quit for about a year, and then he came back after his year of self-imposed exile. And,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah,
So-
glad to have him back in the band. So they live just right outside of Tullahoma here. Oh, there's the band. This is us playing at the Lynchburg Music Fest last summer, and I threw this in there so you all could see how fun we are.
Yes.
and yeah, we're just really looking forward to being back in South Jackson. We're also we're doing a ticket giveaway. We really want everybody to be there. So this week we're giving away tickets on my Twitter page. So you just have to go over there, like that post, retweet it, and tag a friend, and you will be entered for a chance to win 2 tickets to our show on March 7th at South Jackson.
10 years ago,
Has it been that long?
would you have ever thought you would be saying, retweet me?
No.
I'm going,
No.
retweet. Oh, where's the retreat?
Right.
Yeah, so,
Right.
people need to realize that every time I've seen Becky and her band, I've been blown away. But there he is. There's the Hulk right there. Put her up there,
Oh,
Philip.
there he is. Okay, so that's Daniel Harden we were talking about a minute ago down there at the Lynchburg Music Fest last summer. Ain't he handsome, folks? But when he plays music, he really gets into it, and he gets into it so much that he kind of like blows up and turns green, and we call him the Hulk. And there's that picture of him right there.
That has a green sepia tone on it, doesn't it? There he is.
His mom's gonna kill me when she sees this. I know it.
But this band is the top-notch, award-winning, band, like you talk about professional, don't think, oh, well, there's some little bluegrass girl going to be over at South Jackson. The best there is bluegrass girl. How about that?
Thank you.
At South Jackson. And the last time that they were over there playing, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen on that stage.
Oh, thank
The
you.
professionalism, the quality of the music, the players, the song selections, and just the dynamic of Becky Buller, to me, is worth more than the admission.
Thank you. Well, I feel really blessed. I get to play with some fantastic pickers. We've got Ned Lubarecki on the banjo, and he is the 2018 IBMA Banjo Player of the Year. And he is also one of our favorite voices on Sirius XM Satellite Radio's Bluegrass Junction. So if anybody tunes into Sirius and the Bluegrass Channel there, you've definitely heard Ned with his Sunday banjo lesson and his Derailed show on Saturday nights. And then we got Professor Dan Boner on guitar from East Tennessee State University. And he is the head of the Bluegrass program over there. Of course, Daniel Harden on the bass and Nate Lee on the mandolin. Nate is a 2015 IBMA Momentum Award winner. So I've got a really great group of guys, and they're all just great human beings. I really enjoy playing music with them.
And let's don't forget that Becky Buller was the first female instrumentalist of the year.
Fiddle player.
Fiddle player,
yep.
of the year
Yes.
in bluegrass.
Yeah.
It was an old man's club until this girl showed up right here. And now women have found their spot in bluegrass.
Oh, we haven't. And we've got another picture here. I had something really big happen back in January. The First Ladies of Bluegrass got to perform with Steve Martin and Martin Short during 4 concerts in Florida in January. So it's a mix of comedy and music, and it was so much fun. But each of these women are the first to win in their respective instrumentalist categories at the IBMA Awards. That's the International Bluegrass Music Association Awards. So you've got Sierra Hull on the mandolin there. She's in green, and next to her in pink is Allison Brown, the first woman to win Banjo Player of the Year. Missy Raines, current Bass Player of the Year, and the first woman to have that title. And then Molly Tuttle on guitar. So it was just a fascinating week of music and comedy, and those guys are, there's a reason that they are huge movie stars. They are so good at what they do, and they make it look so effortless, but there's so much that goes into it, and they were continually tweaking the show the entire time that we were out
Well,
there.
it blew my mind when I figured out that Steve Martin was a bluegrass cat.
He's a really good banjo player. He plays Scruggs style, he plays clawhammer, and I'm not just saying that because it's Steve Martin. I got to play music with him. He really is really good.
Well, when they have Bonnaroo over in Manchester, I go to the airport. Philip and all our bunch goes to Manchester, and I go to the airport and film the jet. Steve Martin pulled in over there in the biggest jet that's ever been on that airport, I guess. Of course, he doesn't have any money.
Bigger than Paul McCartney's
Bigger
jet?
than Paul McCartney's.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it was huge.
Okay.
It was huge. Now, time is short, and you are great, and we're not going to let this go by without you sharing a little
bit
music
of something,
with
okay.
our fans
All right.
out there.
All
Becky
right.
Buller,
I'm gonna
folks.
play this real quick, and then we'll give you that show information one more time.
One of the superheroes in my life, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Becky Buller. Outstanding. Hey, you see if you can do that, folks.
Thank
Okay?
you. And y'all check out my Twitter page. It's fiddlerbeckyb.com. But if you go to beckybuller.com, all of our social media links are there. We're giving away tickets on Twitter this week. We're giving away one more set of tickets on Instagram next week. So best of luck. And of course, you can get all the show information there for our show at South Jackson Civic Center on March 7th at 7 p.m. We want to see you there. Go to our tour page, and there's a link to get you more information if you want to buy those tickets outright. We're going to be filming that night just to get some stuff for our YouTube channel, and you can be part of our live audience. We want you there. So,
Okay,
thanks, everybody.
real quick before we have 10 seconds. New album out. First song drops when?
Yes, new single coming out March 27th. We filmed a music video for it at Cutshaw's Barbershop in Manchester, Tennessee. And we've got some local celebrities involved in the filming, so you don't want to miss that. That's March 27th for the first single, and the new record comes out July 17th.
Very good. Folks, Miss Becky Buller. Woo! We'll be right back.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Session, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now Madison Toney, and Madison is with the Tennessee Department of Health, and she's here today to talk a little bit about flu vaccines and why you should have them and that sort of thing. And you know, it's late February, but the flu season, I guess, is probably is it at its peak right now, or?
Yes, January and February, your flu season is at the peak. It's when we see the most cases.
Right. And, you know, in the past there has been, or I guess there still is actually, some people who are skeptical of the flu vaccine. But I think it's been proven that the flu vaccine does not cause the flu.
No, there's a very long and safe history of the flu vaccine. A lot of the misconception about the flu vaccine comes from this in-between period when you receive the flu vaccine. So it takes about 2 weeks for the flu vaccine to become fully active and protect your body. Mm-hmm. So if you're exposed to the flu before you get the vaccine, or during that 2-week period, you can still develop the flu. And that seems to be where maybe some of that hesitancy comes from with getting the vaccine.
And I may not have this exactly right, but there's really not any way to get the flu from the vaccine. It's not, because it's not alive. It's not made from a live virus.
No. So it's just an antibody that helps build it up. It's not active, and it can't cause you to get the flu.
Mm-hmm. Are there people who should not take the flu vaccine?
We recommend that anyone over the age of 6 months old get the flu vaccine. Mm-hmm. There's really no reason why you shouldn't get the flu vaccine. It can protect those around you who aren't able to get the flu vaccine, such as younger children and infants, and then also elderly and some people with certain medical conditions, such as immunocompromised.
Mm-hmm. How do they determine what kind of flu vaccine should be manufactured for those who live in the United States?
So the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, works with other organizations to determine the strain that they predict will be most popular that year. They do some very complicated scientific studies to try and determine and give us the best protection we can get.
I see. So suppose you get it, you still might get the flu even if you've had the vaccine. Is that correct?
Yes. So it's a virus and it's unpredictable. We do our best to try and estimate and develop the vaccine that we think will protect you the most, and what's looking like it'll be that specific virus that year. But you can always have that variation that you didn't predict.
But is it true that even if you get the shot and you still get the flu, chances are it won't be as severe as...
That's correct. So it won't. If you do, it won't be as severe. It'll lessen some of those very difficult and strenuous symptoms that you would normally get if you were completely unprotected.
So we mentioned that this is really the peak time, January and February. When do we get to the point where you're not likely to get it? When it gets warm weather? Is that
So the flu actually is active in the community all year round, all year. So you see more cases during the winter months. However, you can get it in the summer, you can get it in the spring. So that's why we recommend you get the flu shot whenever you can. If you feel like it maybe is too late, it's not. You can always get the flu shot and protect yourselves.
So even if you're here in February and you haven't had a flu shot, you can still get one, or it's still beneficial for you to get one.
Definitely beneficial. And then you can get it at your local health department. You can get it at a physician's office or a medical clinic or your local pharmacy.
Right. Okay. Now, I guess you could just walk into a pharmacy and say you would like a flu shot. You don't have to have a prescription from your doctor for that.
No. So you can walk into Walgreens and CVS are probably the two most common that you've seen, but you can go to any of your local pharmacies and ask if they have the flu shot. Some insurance companies provide it to little or no cost, so definitely. Or we do have events at the local health departments, so keep an eye out for those where you can get your flu shot for free.
Okay. All right. Are they pretty common? Do you do that pretty often from where the health department dispenses flu shots?
Yes. So we have one big event, Fight Flu Tennessee. Sorry, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
In November, where we do free flu shots all day. So there's that. Or if you come in any time, we can see if we can get you a flu shot.
Okay. How long, when you have that shot, how long is it usually effective for? I mean, is there a better time of the year than others to get the flu shot?
So the flu shot works for about a year. So sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on you, but generally it covers you for about a year. So if you get it later in the season, that doesn't mean it's not going to protect you for the same length. So if that specific strain is lingering around, you can still be protected.
I see. Okay. But it's probably important to remember that you need to get it at some point, and as you just mentioned, you can still get it right now.
Definitely get it. If you think it's still too late, it never is. There are flu shots available almost all year round. So definitely, if you're hesitant in the beginning and you're thinking about it now, go get one. You can get it.
Are there any residual benefits from having a flu shot every year, like someone that's old as I am, it's pretty old. You've had one for 25 years. Does it? You getting benefit from that because you have that in your body every year?
So as you get older, the antibodies kind of wear off. The flu shot wears off, and so it doesn't carry on for the rest of your life. You need to update it, just like you would your regular vaccines, like your tetanus shot or your Tdap, to make sure you're still immune to the vaccine.
And I think now there are vaccines different, maybe it's a higher dosage for people who are older. Does that work with the flu as well?
Yes, there are different types. So there's a shot, and then there's the nasal spray too. So depending on what you think would be better for you, we really recommend that you talk to your physician to see what would be best for you.
Right. If you are seeking advice about the flu and you don't, maybe you don't have a regular physician and such, can you call the health department and get information about that?
Yes, you can call the health department anytime. You can come in and we can give you any education or resources you may need.
Okay. All right. So you practice what you preach, do you not?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yes. As soon as they come out, I get that flu shot.
Okay. Have you ever had the flu?
No, I've never had the flu as long as I've had the flu shot.
Okay. I had it once and I don't want it again.
Oh, yeah.
That made me a believer in flu shots.
Oh, definitely. The flu shot prevents over 5 million estimated cases of flu each year.
And probably a lot of deaths in children and older folks.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. Having it and not needing it is better than needing it and not having it.
Absolutely. That little prick you'll get when you get the shot is a whole lot easier than being sick for a couple of weeks or something like that. Madison, thank you so much for coming by today. We appreciate it very much. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm on the set with one of my favorite Americans, and he is here today to talk about some of the Black American events that you have coming up. So we're just going to get right to it.
All right. Sounds good to me.
This is Jackie Duncan, by the way. I'm sorry. I get the idea that everybody in the world knows you because I think they do.
Well, kind of.
How are you, Jackie?
I've been around here forever, so I'm good. Very good.
It's great having you.
Thank you.
I know you got at least 3 events coming up.
We do. We've got like some events coming up. Actually, they've already started. 1 or 2 had already passed.
Okay.
And I meant to get down before now, but I just didn't for some reason. We've got an event going on right now at the CD Stamps Community Center. It's from the We Care Committee, who they do something annually. They're very active. They do the march every year for Martin Luther King and everything. And so anyway, their event started last night at CD Stamps Community Center at 6 o'clock. It'll be again tonight at 6 o'clock at CD Stamps, and then they take a break on Wednesday to give people the opportunity to go to church on their church functions on Wednesday night, and then they'll pick back up Thursday night. And I'll be saying something, I think, on Thursday night, but during the event. And Friday night is always soul food night. So they always have everybody brings food and have.
I'll bet you have your biggest crowd on Friday night.
I think it usually works that way.
Yeah.
It's always a good crowd on Friday night.
So kind of what are you focusing on each night? Some part of Black history?
Some part of Black history. Last night, the event, I got there late last night. I had a Tennessee State University alumni meeting last night, which I had I was chair of that. So I was late getting there, and once we got there, though, it was an event. Well, actually, there was a book that's been printed recently that's been honoring the former black schools that had were no longer in existence, and ours is one of them, Davidson Academy, and it was listed in that magazine.
Oh, good. And it certainly should have been.
Yeah, it was a great school, and it got me to where I am today, that's for sure. Like a lot more of us, even further than, done a lot more probably than I have, but anyway, it was the bridge that got us to where we are, and that was the blessing. And it also mentioned, and I got a call from an old football coach. He was actually my civics teacher and a football coach also, and he taught another class of 2. This has been a long time ago now. This guy, he's 82 years old now.
Do you remember his name?
Huh?
His name?
His name is Theodore K. Bridges, Jr. And he came here as a young man right out of college. In fact, I think he was just barely older than probably some of the students, but and that's the way young teachers coming in, and he was a real influence on a lot of our lives. And he called me the other day, and he was saying that they're getting ready to put him into some Hall of Fame.
Some Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's being inducted into, and he's called me for some old pictures, see if I had any old pictures.
Yeah,
and I
bet you did.
I did have some old pictures, and because I'm president of the Davidson Academy School Reunion, which has been going on now for like 50 years since the school is, we've been out of school and everything. It's been a long time, and but I've had old pictures from during that era, and we've collected over the years, and it's worked out really good. So I had some, and I sent them to him. So anyway, but this is his event, I believe, is today, but it's in Huntsville, Alabama. But we've got a couple of events coming up on. I know one's on the 23rd, which is the Black Awareness Community Coalition. And this is a group that was formed about 34 years ago at Arnold Engineering Development.
So where would that take place?
That's going to be in Winchester at 87 Crestview Drive. It's the Elk River District Tabernacle.
Okay.
Elk River District Association Tabernacle, 87 Crestview Drive in Winchester. And that's going to be Sunday the fourth Sunday, the 23rd at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, and then there's an event coming up, the University of Tennessee Space Institute. I'll throw a plug in for them. It's going to be the 26th at 10 o'clock at UTSI.
If I'm not mistaken, that's where you have the singers joined up?
No, that one
is that not the one?
That one, they just have a speaker there. They do have entertainment, and usually a young lady will plays guitar and sings. She's one of our local one of our local talents, and she's a very competent young lady and very good. And they will, and I don't even know if she's going to be on a program this year. I don't know the whole program, but that's going to be at 10 o'clock on the 26th at UTSI. And Dr. Torrance, Motlow president, will be the speaker for that. So, and I've got another event coming up for. This is not actually part of Black History, but it's a scholarship program. It's right after that, right after Black History, on March the 14th. This is going to be the Elk River District Association Scholarship Fund, which I'm a part of that also.
You're a part of everything,
I'm telling
Jackie.
you,
You're a busy man.
When you start in your old age, you figure out, you know, that time's getting short and you got to run a little faster and run a little harder.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm beginning to run it. I know exactly what you mean.
Well, that's the thing you want to do when you leave this world. You want to be empty. You want to be empty.
There
you want to
go.
be able to deposit everything that you've had in you to deposit.
If
and
people out there got confused and forgotten some of these dates, can they call you, or is there a place?
They can call me. Sure can.
You want to give them your phone number?
I am Jackie Duncan, 931-455-2199. So, yeah.
And there might be a list of things at the center there, at Stamp Center.
I will make sure. I'm glad you mentioned that.
That's kind of a good idea.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
You've got so many things going on, it's easy to forget some of the things.
I agree. I agree. And I will make sure that there is something there today.
We have a rich history in Tullahoma, and I'm so glad that you all are doing what you do. Yeah. When I say you all, we all need to be doing it.
Yeah. It's a lot of history that is from here, and I always plug Sister Jessie, who was my cousin. She was, you know, I couldn't appreciate her when I was just a young person, and didn't have any idea about it. But Zig Ziglar, one of the world's greatest motivators
in the world,
was inspired by her.
You are kidding me.
And she changed his life. He's written about her in every one of his books.
That is fabulous.
Look at every one of Zig Ziglar's books, and it said something about Sister Jessie, a faith healer from Tullahoma, Tennessee, in the front of his book.
How she had influenced
him, and said that she led him to the Lord, and his life changed after that. And he went from Amway door salesman to first-class motivator worldwide.
Yes, I know.
He gives her credit for changing him,
and
for leading him to the Lord.
When did she die?
She's been dead for some time. I don't remember the exact date. I've got an article I found in the 70s from the Tennessean newspaper. There's an article about her in their archives.
Yeah.
And it's a good article of several pages. She had a little book printed, and I've got a copy of that book. But anyway, she's a great story.
Blessed man.
Well, I'm starting to uncover history.
I'm so glad to hear that story because I didn't know that. You know, we have lots of stories to tell in this community, and people. Storytelling needs to remain in the forefront.
I agree. I'm taking a class right now.
Are you really?
I was taking it. I took the class at Alabama A&M University. It's just a non-credit class that they allow us people to come in that it's an extension program.
Yeah.
And so it's I've taken this class down there about how to write your life story, and I'm working on that.
I want to talk to you about that, and they're running me off the set right now.
Good enough.
I hope we've said it all. I love it when you come, Jackie.
We'll
be back with more.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I've got my good buddy and respected friend on the show with us today. It's General Alan Harris, and Alan is the commander of Post 43, American Legion, Tullahoma,
That's correct,
Tennessee.
John, and you're a Legionnaire.
And I'm a Legionnaire, and I finally, after Mr. Garrick, Benny Garrick passed away, I finally talked Alan into helping me and be part of the Boys State program.
Yeah, that's right, and that's the reason I want to come here and talk to you today and to the audience about American Legion Boys State, which was started by the Legion in the 1920s, and it's been going ever since. And the 2020 version of Boys State, and on the auxiliary side, the Girls State, is coming up very soon. I want to get the information out there because by the end of March, we have to have the designations, the number of slots available out there. And by about mid-April, we need to have the money sent in so they can, plan and get all that stuff done. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today about that. And I assume Richie is still doing the
yeah, Richie Chadwick is our coordinator over at the high school, and he's a really good person to do that because he starts with the freshmen when they show up over there. So he's in touch with those kids as they move through.
I didn't know that. That's a great piece. Good thing for him to do.
Yeah. And so he's also a soccer coach. Yeah. And Richie does a whole lot of good things, and he's been involved with me out of the guidance department for ever since he got in that slot over there.
So John, I'm anytime you have a interface with them out there, I'd like to be a part of that because I need to learn about it.
Sure, we all do.
You went to Boys State, Benny went to Boys State. I was a good time Charlie kind of guy, and I didn't go to Boys State, really didn't know what it was, didn't care, but now I do, and now I care.
And Bob Couch, my wife's father, went to Boys State. Yeah. Fran and Candy both went to Girls State. My son Jacob went to Boys State.
Yeah.
And so we try to impress on young people how important it is to be involved in this. A lot of young people really don't understand the operation of local and county government and state government.
That's what it is. If you'll just kind of expound a little bit on that, I'll listen to you talk about what Boys State actually is.
Well, what they do there, and of course, we're in a politically violent country right now. We're divided into two sections that are almost equally opposing each other, and a lot of times it's hard to get things done. Well, down at the state and county level, we do have partisan politics a little bit. At the state level, we have them, but at the county level, a lot of the county elections are not. Some of them are partisan, and the city elections are nonpartisan. And so our young people don't really understand how all that works. And when they go to Boys State, they will be put into a city, and they will have, and we'll usually we've sent as many as 6. They never are with one of their buddies from Tullahoma. So it's sort of like being drafted. I never felt so alone when I went into basic training, but guess what? After you're with a bunch of people, all of a sudden you become brothers with those people, and sisters now that women are involved in the military as they are. Well, in Boys State, you go up there and you don't know anybody. Well, so all of a sudden you've got to start talking to people you don't know, and you find friends and make friends that you will have for the rest of your life.
So Boys State, from what I've read, is basically you get the young people, and this boys state and girls state are open to juniors in high school that are going to be seniors next year. So they spend 1 week in Cookeville, Tennessee. The boys do, and the girls do too, at probably Middle Tennessee State.
I think it's Middle Tennessee's where they go.
And so they learn how government is how it's put together, formed, and how it's supposed to function. And so I think it's just it's a magnificent learning experience. So I've been told, and I see the results of that. And right now we have in our Legion enough money set aside to sponsor 2, but we would love to sponsor more.
Right.
And of course, I'm going to say this, and hopefully the people out there will catch on to this. If you are local government, if you're a bank, if you're an institution such as Boy Scouts of America, and you want to make a contribution to this effort and earmark it for the American Legion Boys State and Girls State, we will be happy to try to send as many as we can to the Boys State. And
don't forget your social clubs, because we've had the Lions Club sponsor Boys State candidates throughout the years.
That's a very good point. Thank you. Rotarians, Kiwanans,
right.
Lions Club.
And the cost now is what?
$350 per person, which is a very nominal sum, and the universities take up the slack, and so I congratulate those universities for being willing to sponsor that. And it occurs basically for us about the last weekend in May, third or fourth weekend in May.
And a lot of these young people come back, and they come back to me, or they'll come back to us and say, thank you. I had no idea how the government that in my hometown actually operated. I've had young boys that were fathers were aldermen who really didn't understand exactly how things happened until they went to Boys State, because they're doing other stuff. They're playing sports. They're in band. They're dancing. They're singing. And all of a sudden, they're with a bunch of young people that are top crust. These aren't slackers. These are the best of the best. And they're people, and I tell the young men and young women, always put this on your resume for the rest of your life. You will run across people at business meetings. All of a sudden, you'll see somebody and go, wait a minute, weren't you at Boys State with me?
I recognize you.
And they'll be there, the movers and shakers that will be forming the new legislation and the new rules as we go forward.
And for all of the the local corporations and businesses and banks and the service organizations, you're going to get back a better informed citizen.
And they might even go vote.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's something else. Election year 2020, get registered to vote. All of you out there, you young people, if you're old enough to vote, get registered. You old people, it makes a difference. Go vote.
It's your right and privilege. Thank you, sir.
Alan Harris, thank you for being here. And you can get in touch with the American Legion Post. You can get in touch with 43 downtown Tullahoma on Atlantic Street. You can get in touch with Richie Chadwick, Tullahoma High School in the guidance department, or you can get in touch with me, John Gray, at pheadtv.com or 581-5238. We'll see you in a minute.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch. And John, we're here today for segment 40 of the Conversations with John and Pat.
You sure it's not 41?
It's 40.
Okay. Well, the song I'm going to do is one that's patriotic.
Great.
I used to know who wrote this, but I can't remember now. But we'll do it anyway.
Well, that'll make a great segue into today's
This
program.
land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was rambling that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that endless valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah. You know,
you
I
get
could
better and
do
better,
it.
John. Now that was from the mid or early '60s, wasn't it?
The fellow that wrote that was from the time of the Route 66 when a lot of people left the farms out in Oklahoma for the dust storms. You know, I wished I could remember his name, but I should have been prepared, Pat.
Wasn't we're winging it this whole edition, but wasn't there a group of singers that had about 40 or 50 college-age kids that toured the country?
And Christy Minstrel.
No, that's not the New Christy Minstrels, but it was Up for America or something like that. They had the name, and this group came to Tullahoma because it was when I was in grade school, and they had the concert at the high school gym.
Wow, it made an impression on you.
Oh yeah,
You
that
still
song was
remember that.
one of their main songs.
Well,
yeah.
we do that from time to time. That song, Jimmy, Phil, and I, and you should hear the harmony. It's pretty good harmony.
Well, and I would expect you to be right there in the middle of it.
Oh, man.
Oh,
we're going to talk about Tullahoma, Pat.
We're going to have a little history today tied in being patriotic, and I think Tullahoma it was put on the map by Arnold Center, and after World War II, at least one of the Army generals who was interested in flight was General Hap Arnold, and while he was in Germany, he realized that the Germans' technology was way ahead of ours, and that if we were going to stay current with the Russians who we were competing with after the war, we had to invest in testing facilities. And Tennessee politicians were able to, I believe the other site was going to be somewhere in Washington State. I may be wrong about that, but I know Mr. Harton from Tullahoma was involved with Joel Evans, who was our Tennessee state senator, and then our U.S. senators Kefauver and McKellar were very, very involved and really politicking hard to get the Arnold Center there, and we won, and it was put, the land was donated where Camp Forrest was. Of course, they were looking for something to do with it after the war anyway, so it was a real natural.
You know, that must have been just so exciting back at that time to know that was going to be done here.
Oh, it was just such a boost and shot in the arm. You know, I think we've talked about...
Did this follow Camp Forrest?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I remember we've had one segment where we talked about Charlie Marshall's class. I think that was 1953, maybe, something like that. And he had 60 some odd students in his senior class. In the class of 1970, after Arnold Center came through, he had 300. So it was a huge shot in the arm for Tullahoma. And President Truman, when the center was dedicated in 1951, came to Tullahoma, which to people like the Couches and the Powells that were active in local history, that was a really big event at that time. And we've got pictures today that I think were originally taken by Mr. Powell, but I am not positive. And the first one was out at Northern Field. President Truman was flown to Northern Field, and I think hopefully you can see President Truman in the suit. And there is a young gentleman with dark hair and sunglasses and a light suit that's to his left, and that is Senator Kefauver. Let's go with the next one, Philip. Let's see here. That's still at the airport, and if you can find President Truman just a little bit to the left of center in the front, there was a lady with a wide brim hat, and that General Arnold had passed away, but that's Mrs. Arnold there is widow. And behind President Truman is a gentleman with a kind of a multicolored tie with his hair parted in the middle. That is Joel Evans from Smithville. And to his left is Tullahoma's Mr. Harton, who would have been really involved in this. And there's probably plenty of other dignitaries in there that I'm leaving out, but that's the ones that I can identify. And they then rode in a big parade down Jackson Street from Northern Field out to Arnold Center. And in the main car there you can see President Truman again, and there's a gentleman sitting in the seat above who's got his arm on the side, and that, I believe, is Governor Browning, who was governor of Tennessee at the time. And I had the pleasure of living in a dorm one semester at Tennessee Tech that was named after Governor Browning. And you can just barely see a motorcycle in the right corner there, and that is Tullahoma's Tom Womack. And one of the other pictures he is saluting, that I failed to mention him. Tom's in his 90s, and we want to give a little shout out to him today too.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
He was showed in both pictures, and that was. I wish we'd had enough time, John, and enough initiative to us to get out to the historian at AEDC. I'm sure they've got a lot of pictures that was a really big event when the parade got. That picture, can you put that last one back up, Philip? We get people kind of oriented. You can see a building just in the right-hand corner. That is Millie's Bridal Shop, if you know where that is on Jackson Street. And then to the left, if the camera lens was wide enough, is South Jackson Civic Center. So that kind of orients you to where that was.
Big Dunes in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Big Dunes in Tullahoma. They're getting ready to go the viaduct, turn left, and proceed on to Arnold Center, which was a big, big event for Tullahoma.
Yeah. Well, that was a good day to remember.
It was a big
probably
day to remember.
Probably as memorable as ever has been
in
Tullahoma.
Probably true.
I'm sure.
I don't think that the president has come before. Now, the day that you moved to Tullahoma, John, would have been momentous, but it probably didn't catch the president coming to town. And before we get worse, John, we need to quit. We
enjoyed it.
We had a great time. That's segment number 41, or did I say it's
I can't remember
It's
now.
41.
Well,
Segment 40. No, it's not.
40.
John, that's 40. Excuse us.
we're going to lose this someday. We're going to lose the track.
We hope not. We'll probably lose it when management tells us we're out. But that's not the end of our stories. We got plenty more to come if they'll still have us. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You're going to love this segment. I've got Pirates of Penzance from South Jackson Civic Center that's opening when?
The public shows, yes, are March 13th and 14th at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. This is Miss Violet Hendricks, and I'm going to ask each one of you to introduce yourself and tell me the name of your character. Okay, take it away.
All right, well, I'm Violet Hendricks, and I play Ruth in the Pirates of Penzance.
My name is Ethan Cusick. I will be playing the Pirate King in the Pirates of Penzance.
Pirate King, all right.
Yeah.
I'm Zachary, and I'm one of the crazy police.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie, and I'm one of the daughters in Pirates.
I'm Emma Ochiltree, and I am one of the pirates.
I am DC Hardy, and I play Major General Stanley.
I'm Colin Cusick, and I play the sergeant.
This is a great group. What a great group. We are going to start off with DC singing, Major General?
Yes.
I am the very model of a modern Major General. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical, from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too in matters mathematical. I understand equations both the simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem I am teeming with a lot of news. Got it. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
For my military knowledge, though I'm plucky and adventure-y, has only been brought down to the beginning of the century. In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General.
In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern Major General.
I just can't believe you got all those words. That is wonderful.
It wasn't really the words, it was more like the
timing.
The timing and the...
No.
It's a fun song to do, though. I love it. I am so impressed. All
Tongue
right,
twisters.
let's talk a little bit about the show. And what part do you play?
I play
Violet?
Ruth, who is Frederick, who is our main character. I'm his nursemaid, and the basic storyline is I made a mistake a long time ago with Frederick's father wanted to apprentice Frederick to a pilot, which is a type of seafaring person, but I misheard that and apprenticed him to a pirate instead.
Okay.
And so, yes.
I am the pirate.
And so, basically, now he has come of age when the story starts, and he's about to be released from his indentures, and he decided that he doesn't want to be a pirate anymore, and all the pirates, of course, are upset.
Heartbreaking.
But yeah.
Is Amy directing this?
Yes, ma'am, Miss Amy Beckstead. Yes.
And this is a group called Teach.
Teach, yes.
And I forgot what each letter stands for. Do you know?
So did I.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you that question.
Theater, enrichment,
arts.
curriculum,
homeschoolers.
Zach, I should have known you knew the answer.
Oh, I didn't. I had help. I helped.
Your sister whispering in your ear?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Have you guys had fun doing this?
We have.
Yeah.
Or you're having fun
Yes,
doing
we are.
this?
A lot of fun.
And who's doing the music?
Miss Amy and Greg Gressel.
Mr. Greg Gressel.
Oh, okay. We know Mr. Greg, don't
Yes.
we? And Miss Amy. They do great work.
Thank you.
All right, this is opening the 23rd. Did I have that wrong?
13th of
13th.
March.
See, I can't remember.
The 13th and 14th of March at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. Are you doing a one daytime show for school?
We're doing several throughout the week for shows, and so
people out there who want to bring their students in to see the show, please do, because there's, and you, or 455-5321, 931-455-5321, or go to southjackson.org, and you can get all the information about tickets. Aren't really expensive.
No.
And so it's such fun to watch these people grow and become great artists on our stage. I understand you sing too.
I do.
Do you have
Yes,
a favorite
ma'am.
song?
Yes,
You
I
mind
could
singing
sing.
it? You
Sure.
can pull it up. These guys
Sure.
can sing a cappella. They can sing anytime. There's the contact. Okay.
Ready? When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy, apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hearty lad, though surely not a high lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot.
I love it.
Thank you.
And I'll bet you have songs too, don't you?
I do. We sing together.
Yes, sir. We do,
Okay.
actually.
Can you sing a little of it? Get close so that we can hear you on this mic.
Okay. So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
How about you start?
Okay. We knew your taste for curious quips, for cranks and contradictions queer, and with the laughter on our lips, we wished you there to hear. We said if we could tell it him, how Frederick would the joke enjoy. And so we risked both life and limb to tell it to our boy. A paradox, that most ingenious paradox, with quips and quibbles heard in flocks, but none to beat this paradox. A paradox, the most ingenious paradox. This paradox.
I love it. This is fascinating to me to see young people doing this production. I'm so glad that it's coming to South Jackson.
Right.
Once upon a time, I did some of this myself, directed it, and I'm excited to have it back. It's a challenge. It's
It
not
is.
like your ordinary play.
Right. It
And
is a
so
very
it takes a
challenging
lot of
show.
talent, and you have to understand to get into what they were thinking when they wrote the play.
Right.
Exactly.
Zach, what's your favorite part? You got a favorite part?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, in general.
The general?
Yeah.
General.
Just in general.
Just because he can speak really fast and no one can hear him.
It's an amazing play, and I hope that you will buy tickets and support the TEACH program at South Jackson Civic Center. These are all homeschool students, and they still do their homework, they still learn math, they do all this stuff, but they have the opportunity to perform on our stage thanks to Miss Amy Beckstead for her dedicated work and taking on the time of coming every time it's necessary.
Right,
And then the
yes.
same goes for you. You know, you could be out playing football or baseball or something like that. But I'm so proud of you. So don't forget, 13th of March.
13th and 14th.
Call one of the, go online or call. You can get tickets online, which is the best way to do it, because then you don't have to stand in line when you get there. How long is the play? About an hour?
Yes.
2 hours?
Yeah, an hour.
So it's you know, it's just fun to do. So make sure you go. All right, let's give these people a big hand. Thank you so much. I
Thank
love
you.
them. We'll be back with.
I was clapping for
We'll be
myself.
back.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford F-150 as low as $34,739. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
TV viewing land, we're so glad you joined us this morning for a moment of historical facts and fun and no fiction at all the true stuff that you like to enjoy. And you know, this day and time we have so many types of entertainment, and just what you're watching now is television coming right into your own home. And guess what? Before September of 1950, the only pictures that we could see besides our family album was at the movie theater. The movie theater, almost a thing of the past. But now we, of course, in Tullahoma, have the cinema out here on North Jackson Street that has up-to-date movies. But years ago, years and years ago, that many of us don't even remember, there was a theater in Tullahoma in the 100 block of North Atlantic Street. I think the name of it was the Palace, and that block burned in the late 1800s, and it was rebuilt, and the building on the end of the first 100 block in North Atlantic Street at the corner of Grundy and Atlantic Street, they built a theater there. It was called the Strand Theater. They played in the afternoons from 2:30 to 4, and on Saturday they played from 1 o'clock to midnight. And it was traditional. Every Saturday they had a cowboy show at the Strand Theater. And the early days, and I can remember when I was a little boy, the movies were all silent, and they had a piano player down in the pit in front of the screen that if it was a cowboy show and the cowboys were chasing the Indian, boy, he would play fast, wild music. And if it was a movie of a love scene, he'd play soft music that was tender and just put the audience in a frame of mind and the mood for whatever the picture show was. Well, with the coming of Camp Forrest in 1940 and 41, they built a new theater on Grundy Street, but behind the old Tullahoma Post Office and the First Christian Church, and it was named the Marshall Theater, named for Ms. R.T. Hill's mother, Mrs. Marshall. And it was supposed to be just a temporary structure, but it was used for many years later until it became such a really a not an eyesore, but the roof was about to fall in, and it was going to be condemned because it was in such terrible shape. And also, they converted a furniture store, grocery store, on Lincoln Street and Wall Street that was called the Mecca Theater. There's an antique shop there at the present time, but these theaters operated around the clock, 365 days out of the year when Camp Forrest was going, from 1941 to 1946. And they were, they provided a place for those that couldn't get housing anywhere. They had water and restrooms and popcorn there so that people could enjoy it, and had first-rate run movies, and they were really, really great. The three theaters, they're all gone now, but they had a lot of memories, and a lot of people that went when they were youngsters said that they did their courting up in the balcony, and it was a great tribute to Tullahoma. And those of you that still remember the old theaters enjoyed them, and now we're having a theater in our own home with the advent of television. And that's not the end of the story, because we're coming back with more Millennium Moments in the future. Thank you for watching.
Back in, I guess it's time to go.
I love it when we have young people on the show.
We had a bunch of young people, and if you remember, and you're a South Jackson Goes Country fan, you'll remember a lot of those faces from the country
I know.
show.
They're a smart group. They do just about everything.
Peggy, it's time for us to go.
Oh my gosh, is it over?
We love you, folks. Come back and see us again.
Bye now.